It needs to be a very flexible world that we set this play in, because we want to be able to encapsulate a large variety of different time periods and places. We're sort of starting with Faustus rooted in the Elizabethan world. We're setting the whole play really within the Elizabethan world of his study. And from that, when the devils, when Mephistopheles and his army of devils turns up, the world changes, the rules break, and they basically take him on a journey that sort of goes from the medieval period through the Victorian period, across time, across space, anywhere really that his imagination can take him. The bargain that he makes is essentially to sell his soul for 24 years of being able to do anything that his imagination can bring to life. I think maybe it's a bit disingenuous to say that I don't start with ideas of how it might look, because it's impossible to read a play like this and not have visual ideas, but I don't sort of sit there with Ben in this case and say this is what I think it should look like. We go on a whole big old journey of looking at pictures, films, reading stuff, and there's so much, you know, visual material about this time, about the idea of imagination and magic. We started, one of the first books I looked at was a huge book. It was about this big, by that fat, which I saw in Waterstones, about the history of magic. Full of these most amazing pictures going right back in time. You know, sort of, I'll be the devil, entering our rehearsal room. So yeah, we went on this sort of exploration, and we looked at films by Terry Gilliam, by Peter Greenaway, by Fellini. Fellini's film Casanova was a big influence on us. And as I say, we read a lot as well. So from that sort of melting pot of stuff, Ben started sort of drawing out the things that sort of whet his appetite, sort of conjuring up a sort of world. And then we started layering up detail and, you know, sort of adding in elements, talking very specifically about the needs of each scene, and, you know, honing in on the design that we've got. What we wanted from this set is to sort of create a sort of very vivid impression of the inside of this man's head, and populate it with all of his dreamings and his imagination and his nightmares too.